Grab your running shoes, Wargamers. We're playing through the aftermath of another defeat. This is essentially a refight of the last battle that we fought using the excellent A Song of Drums and Shakos. I love this cover, by the way. I love the looks on these guys' faces, like, oh man, they're shooting again? Ah, geez. And the guy on the left is like, yep. Oh, what would it be? Well, I don't want to use bad language. Here we go again. So, the last time we fought this, we did a couple things wrong. We forgot to use the combat values. Didn't make a huge deal. They all have a combat value of 2, so everybody kind of got hosed to the same degree. But it does make a difference in this rule set. You're looking to double your opponent, and the more bonuses you have, the more pluses, the harder it becomes to be doubled. We're going to use that this time. It's going to be great. The last time we set up the French first, we said, hey, the French have been defeated. This is a holding force trying to secure this river and slow down pursuit. This time around, these guys are going to be trying to slow down the retreat of these light cavalry. So the victory conditions are the same. The British are going to come on, they're going to bring these cavalry on turn 4. I'm going to change that a little bit. And they're going to try to get the majority of their horsemen off the board. That means 4. If they can get 4 of the horsemen off this road to the north, they win. Any other result, they lose. The horsemen are going to come on turn 4 this time. It's going to give these guys 3 turns to deal with these guys. This British column is green recruits. If they witness somebody messily killed, boom, headshotted, they got to make a morale check. One thing I forgot in the last battle, this particular leader, this NCO of the guys, he has Elan, which means for activation purposes, he's got a +1 to all his die rolls. So he activates on anything but a 1. So we'll also include that. We paid for it, might as well use it. The other change we're going to make is we are going to bring the horses on this fork of the road at the start of turn 4, and we're going to bring these guys on this road at the start of the game. Knowing that, it's going to change how the French set up. So let's pull back, take a look at the battlefield, and see how these clever Frenchmen try to pin these guys in place so they can't get over the river. Couple of more bits of business we should probably talk about before we get started. The water features block movement, the swamps and the river. It's a deep gully, fast-moving water down there. The only place to cross is here, and just off screen, right here where my finger is, there's another little ford. You can shoot across them, they don't block line of sight. The trees, the entire base blocks line of sight. There's rocks and other debris down there, so the entire base, just so there's no confusion. The hedges provide cover if you're standing right next to them. If you're back a ways, then it does not. You actually have to be, you're assumed to be kind of crouching down or using them for cover. It's soft cover, -1. Same thing with the green spaces here. These reduce your movement to the next step anytime you move through them at all. And as far as the steps are concerned, short, medium, and long, because I don't have a measuring stick, all I have is this universal measuring stick. We're going to use 5, 8, and 12 for long, short, and medium, respectively. We got to worry about ammunition. If our guys fire their weapons, they'll get one of those tokens. It takes 2 successes on the same turn to reload. If you fire your weapon and you get a 1 result, you roll a d6, and on a subsequent one, you're out of ammo, and that's what the red chips will be for. If I remember, that's a lot to remember while we're doing this, but I think that's all we need to go over. As I said, we're going to play 3 full turns with the British coming on here. And then on the beginning of turn number 4, the cavalry are going to run up. So the French defenders have opted to put 5 of their 8 veterans here, and 3 over there in that woods this time. Everybody has a combat of 2. Quality is 3 across the board, with the exception of the line troops for the British. The officers quality 3. The hussars and these green conscripts have a quality of 4. We'll be using these for the activation, and of course blue for the French and red for the redcoats. With all that out of the way, let's roll for the activation of that first He's going to take all 3 actions, and he's going to get 3 successes, which is great. Now, he's going to barely come on. He comes on the road here and moves just off the road because he's going to give an order to the first 5 of his troops. And because he is still within 5 centimeters of the road, we'll give him the bonus. They get 1 action. That's just enough actions to get on the board. Remember, if you roll 2 failures, your side is done. And we'll just bring them on like so. I guess we should bring them up as far as they'll go, and that means, yeah, that's pretty close. Then he's going to use his last order to bring the other half of his boys on the board, and they're going to get 2 actions. So they could come on in a line and fire, but instead I think I'm going to go ahead and move them up 16, and that will put them right about here. And we'll bring them up a little something like this. We'll put 3 right there and 2 right there. And that's the end of the British side. Now we move on to the French. And of course, the first thing we'll do is we're going to go ahead and take 3 shots with these guys. It's a bit of a long range, but all of them are just going to take 1 action. And we get 2 successes. So 2 of these guys are going to take shots. And we'll go ahead and jump. It doesn't really matter which 2 at this point, I think. So we'll put a couple of tokens right there. We'll tighten it up if we need to later. They are going to be firing their muskets at a range of, well, let's call it 24 and 24. So they're just within that +1 range. The blue die is going to be a +3. The red die is going to be a +2. So the first shot at this guy here on the left is going to be a big hit. It's going to be an 8 versus a 3. That's a double, so it's a kill, but it's not messy. Then we got to do one more shot, and it's going to be a pretty big miss. It'll be a 4 versus a 6. So that's just a plain old miss. And I put this guy back in the box. Thanks for playing, Conscript. Thank you for your service. Then we have this mess down here. Now remember to reload. It takes 2 successful activations on the same turn. So they're going to have to be rolling 3 dice every turn. Then we're going to use our leader, and we're going to issue an order to that front line. With 2 actions, he can... Well, we got our order, so he's going to give his order to these guys, and then he can move if he wants to. He says, hey, take all 3 actions, and they're going to get 3 actions, so they're going to open fire. And because they have 2 actions, they can take aimed shots. So they're going to be at a -1. So the combat value of each of these guys is going to be 1. The combat value of these guys, because they are within... How many of these guys we got? 1, 2, 3 that are going to be at +2. So it's +4. So the first 3 are going to be at +4, and these guys are a little far away. They're only going to be at +3. And we're just going to go right across the board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They all need to reload. And we'll start here. Blue die is at +4 to a +1. So that's a 5 to a 7. The first is a miss. The second one is going to be a 6 versus a 2. This is why we do it in order. That is a messy kill. And unfortunately for the Brit boys, all of these guys, anybody within 12 centimeters, fortunately, these guys, ooh, did we clip one of them? That's 12 centimeters right there. He heard it. He heard the boom ahead shot, and so he has to take a morale check as well. As do all 4 of these for that Treblin. So the first guy manages to pass 2 of his checks, and he's going to be moving 12 centimeters. Hey, boss, they shootin', but he stays on board. And then this guy, who has already acted, is going to, every failure means run away. For the purposes of activation, he gets a +1 because of his leader, but he runs off the board. This third guy is going to pass all 3. He don't care. He didn't like that guy anyway. And then this guy is going to miss 1. He runs off the board. And then this guy is going to miss all 3, and he runs off the board. Wherever he was, that's what he was going to do. All right, well, that changes things a little bit, doesn't it? They're all out of ammo. I'm going to put 1 marker down to remind me of that. And then we're going to go back to... Oh, this is turn 2, by the way. There we go. Now it's back to the Brits, and this leader is going to take 3 actions. He's going to get 2. He's going to move... Oh, boy. He's going to move to there. And then he's going to issue an order to... Oh, he's got to be within 5, doesn't he, to give the order? So he'll actually run... Yeah, he'll go right here, and he'll issue an order to these 2 guys. And they only get 1 action. Okay, they're going to race... I guess we'll race up to join forces with these guys. And now the French have a decision to make because it's their turn to activate. The 2 failures ends the turn. So what we'll do is we'll start over... let's go ahead and take all 3 actions with him. He gets 2 actions, so he'll use 1 action to come over here. Now he's got to use his first action to give these guys an order. And then, yeah, that's it. And they're going to get 2 actions, which is enough. All they can do is reload. But that's fine, man. That's just fine. And then he'll kind of come over here to brace for impact. If he had 1 more action, he might have shot his pistol at this leader, but this is good for now. We're going to start on this side. We're going to try to reload this guy. He reloads, and that's all he's got. The second guy here is going to try to reload, and he gets all 3 actions, so he can reload. He can actually shoot if he wants to, and I think he does. He's going to shoot over here. And we should still be at 24 centimeters for medium range. Yep. So it's going to be that's just 1 action, so he's at +3, 2 for his combat, 1 for the range. And the red coat is at 2. So that's a 5 versus, an 8 versus a 6. And he has to recoil. Now, I've always played that recoiling 1 base width means, and let's use these horses. You Song of Blades guys can help me out here. If these guys are charging at the woods, and he has to recoil, I've always played that the 1 base width means like that. But I'm starting to wonder if I should have recoiled like this. Because the rule is, if you can recoil, if there's somebody behind you, and you don't have enough movement to get by them, then you fall down. So I think I'm going to start doing this a little bit different. I think that 1 base width means leave a gap of 1 base width between where you were and where you wind up. It's the only way to reconcile all of those distances, and it's the only way to make fighting in 2 ranks worthwhile, because now you can recoil behind your backup instead of just falling over. So that's what we're going to do here. He's going to fall back to there, and then we're going to move on to the last of the French rear guard, and he gets all 3 actions. So he can take an aimed shot at... And they're all just, well, he's kind of pushing it. Is it edge to edge, center to center? It makes a big difference here. Stop. All right, you get off the road. And then, oh, look, he's definitely within 24. I'm going to call it 50-50. On evens, he's in range, and odd, he's out. So it's just going to be a straight +1. So it's going to be a 3 versus 2. And that's going to be a 4 versus a 3 with an odd number. He recoils back to there. And he's out of ammo. That's it for the French. It's time for the British to move again. And we got to start with the leader, as usual. He gets 2 actions, so he'll use his first action to move up. And he'll use his second action to give these guys an order. And so they take 3 actions. They only get 1 action this time. And I think we need to use that action to move. No. You know what we're going to do? We're going to go ahead and we're going to say, hey, everybody just shoot. Shoot at somebody. These three guys have a clear shot there. Well, we'll move this guy first. He's going to run up to here. No, we want to protect our leader, so we're going to move him back here. You have to shoot at the closest guy. These three guys are going to shoot here. And this guy is going to turn and shoot that way. Now, we know that we'll do this guy first. We know he's at long range, so he's at 3. No, because they're in cover, he's at -1. So the total bonus for him is going to be +1, and the total bonus for them is going to be +2. So the Frenchman oh, you know what? I think he might be out of ammo. Let's roll a d6. He's out of ammo. He rolled a 1 on that successful attack. So now we've got a guy who cannot reload. He's just going to have to charge at the Hussar. Yeah, good luck with that. So 1 and a 1, same thing here. He's got to roll, and he is also out of ammo. And he didn't hit. Remembering rules is fun. Now we got some shooting to do. This guy moved. We'll start with this guy. He's going to shoot here. And he's at close range, so his total bonus is +4. But because he's behind cover, that reduces it by 1. So he's at +3 versus a +2. And we get 7 versus a 4. A 6. So he normally would recoil, but there's somebody in the way, so he's going to fall over. The problem there is that means these two guys are going to try to light up the leader. The leader is behind, and he does have a combat skill of 2. So it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be 3 versus 2. It's going to be a 9 versus a 6. And with an even, he falls down. And then this last shot is going to be at this guy. And he doesn't get the benefit of cover because he's not immediately behind it. We got the flank. So it's going to be a total of +4 versus +2. And that's going to be a 10 versus a 5. That is a doubling, and one of these veterans goes down, thanks to the flank attack. So that was a pretty good attack. It was so good, he fell over in surprise. I didn't know those conscripts would be that good. We'll drop down some reload markers. And I'm just going to put one there for those 3 guys. And we're going to advance our turn marker. So this is the last turn that the French have. First thing we're going to do is roll for our leader, as usual. Our leader gets 3 actions, so he's going to use one of them to stand up. He's going to use the other one to order these 3 guys. I don't think he can give this guy an order. I probably should have rolled to see if he stood up first. All right, well, he's going to order these 3 guys around. He's going to get they're going to get 2 actions. So the first thing we'll do is, they are reloaded, aren't they? We're going to go ahead and force this issue a little bit. They get 2 actions. We're going to pivot to here. And that's it. They get 2 actions, so that's 1 action. And then I think this guy will go ahead. Wait, no, that's was he 8 centimeters? And does he have line of sight? He doesn't have line of sight, but that's fine. So we'll call it 2 actions, like so. And then we're going to roll for this guy to stand up. He is going to succeed because he's so close to the leader. And then we got to roll to see if this guy reloads. He gets 3 successes, so he's just going to reload and hang out. It's a shame he can't share his ammo with his friendo there. But that's the end of turn 3. So now turn 4, our cavalry are going to come on. And the question becomes, do we want to bring the cavalry on first? Or do we want to... It's all about priorities, right? Do we want to move these guys to screen and risk failing? I don't think we do. So what we're going to do is start with our leader. We're going to give 3 actions, and he's going to lose all 3. Son of a gun. I thought he would have gotten at least 1 action out of that, because 1 action would have made a huge difference. He could have ordered some guys to at least shift around. What you gonna do? I guess our cavalry are gonna come on turn 5. The French get to go now. And so we'll start with... I'm gonna start with this guy. He's gonna shoot at one of these conscripts. And with a 6, well, we're gonna re-roll that one. Yeah, with a 5 and a 1, he only gets 1 action. So he doesn't get an aim shot, but he is shooting at +4. He's gonna shoot at, I guess, this guy. And he gets a 7 versus a 6. And with a odd score, he's going to recoil back to the other side of the road. And this guy is now in a reload situation. Our leader is going to leave him out to dry. He's going to take 2, 3 actions. He's going to move 8 will put him to here. And then he will... Now, you know what he's going to do? He's got 3 actions. He's going to fire at this guy with his pistol. Now, his pistol has a different range, so we should probably look at that. 5 centimeter range. If he's within 5 centimeters, which is right there, he's not, so he's not quite close enough. He's firing at an even Steven. That's going to be a 2 versus a 2. And let's see if he's out of ammo. He's not, but he does need to reload. And, oh, he's got 2 actions left, so he's going to reload. I don't know if you can reload on the same turn that you fired. That may be one to look up later. But I do know that since I've got a couple of guys over here, man, these French, they want to hold on to their fire, actually. This is a sticky wicket. I've got one guy that can shoot. This, I wonder if I could just, so you could just kind of see. Yeah, that's a little better. See, he does not have line of sight through these trees. He would have to come out and around. I think this guy, if we drop a straight line down, I think we got 1 shot. And I'm going to go ahead and take it. The guy in the middle is the only one who's going to try. He's going to fail all 3 times. So it's back to the British. This time the British are going to say, you know what? I'm doing this guy again. Can he fail all 3 for a second time? No, he can get all 3 of his actions. So we're going to slide over here for 1. We're going to order these guys to move. And they're going to get all 3 actions, which is really nice because it means that this guy can move 8 and contact. And he's got enough left over for a fighting. They both have the same weapons. They are both fighting at 2s. Oh, except he has 3 actions, so he gets a plus. Oh, how does that work? Just as with your regular Song of Blades, because he has 2 actions, he can do a powerful attack, which reduces his opponent's score by 1. So it's going to be 2 to the red, 1 to the blue. And a 7 versus a 3 is going to be a kill. Then this guy is going to take his 3 actions, and he's going to move 8 to here, and he's going to move 8. He's got to move in a straight line. He's got just enough to go lock up this guy in hand-to-hand combat. And it's going to be 2 to 2. They both have the same weapons. It's going to be 4 versus 7. And the Frenchman has to recoil. Can you recoil over an obstacle? You can. It's only if you're trying to leap over an impassable... Oh, you know, if he recoils directly away, this tree is actually in the way of his recoil. He does not have room to stand here, so that's another man down. And we still have 3 guys that can do stuff. We're going to shoot... Oh, let's see. These guys can reload. And then we've got 3 guys that can shoot. This will be a regular shot and a regular shot. And then we'll bring him up here. And we'll take an aim shot with him. So let's start with the aim shot. He's shooting at a +4. The aim shot negates the cover. So it's going to be 4 to the red, 2 to the blue. And that's going to be a 5 versus a 3. For an odd number is a recoil, so he's got to back off. And our British guy does not run out of ammo. Then we've got a 4 versus a 2. Because he recoiled off of his defensive line, he doesn't get the bonus anymore. So that's going to be a 7 versus a 2 for another recoil. And then we've got one more shot, still at 4 versus 2. And it's going to be a 7 versus a 3, which doubles him up and puts him out of the fight. And I really think the French are in trouble this time. The good news is and you know what? The British are still not done. Because they're going to go, their cavalry leader, their hussar leader is going to try to take many actions. He's only going to get 2. That's all he needs. Cavalry can move 12 centimeters, and he's going to run right up the road. That's this fella with the spear. And then he's going to give an order to his boys, and they're only going to get 1 action. So we'll bring up 1, 2, 3. We'll just get him on the board like so. We'll actually kind of straddle the road with these guys, and we'll bring them on like that. And that's it for the British. And now the French are in trouble. It is the French turn. It's the French go. So we'll start with our leader, who's going to try to take all 3 activations, and he's going to get all 3. So we'll run up. He can move 8. So we'll run up to here. We're gonna run to. I guess we'll run to this guy and perform a power blow. So he's gonna be at a 2 to the blue versus a 1 to the red. No, wait a minute. He has a sword. What does a sword do? Keep that result in mind. The sword is a thing that I haven't done yet. Let's see what effect a sword has in combat. In Song of Drums and Shakos, you have a ranking in hand-to-hand combat weapons that goes lance, halberd, sword, musket, axe. Because he has a sword fighting a musket, he gets an additional +1. So it's actually going to be at a 3 versus a 1, which becomes a 7 versus a 2. Since he doubled, that guy is out of the fight. And I think... You know, he still has not reloaded his pistol, so I'm going to go ahead and drop that down. And then we got this guy here who is going to... what's he going to do? What do you want to do, guy? He doesn't have a shot at any of the horses, right? We got to knock out 3 of those horses. That's our top priority here. So I think what we'll do is try to give him 3 actions. And he's going to get 2, which will be enough to clear this and take a shot at the lead horse. We might as well move... No, he only gets to move 5 centimeters. So that brings him right up... Oh, you know, we'll bring him right here. Because that way these guys don't have a clear shot at him. And he's shooting around that tree. And he is at a range of less than 24. So he's going to be at a total of +3 versus the British +2. A 5 versus a 4 is going to be a knockdown. So it's going to cost him an action to stand up. You're now out of ammo. Then we've got a couple of guys over here, only one of whom has line of sight. So we'll take all 3 actions with him. We're only going to get 1 action, so we don't get the benefit of the aim shot. He can fire at the guy that's laying down. Now, bear in mind, he's already shooting at, well, 24. 24. Yeah, he's got to shoot at the guy that's lying down. That's an additional -1. So he is at 2 versus 2. And that's going to be a 6 versus an 8 for a miss. And that's too bad, because if you shoot a guy that's lying down and you win at all, he's out of the fight. Knocking that leader out would have been great. We're done with the French. Time for the British. We're going to activate this guy. Well, we are going to activate the leader over here first. He's going to get 2 actions, and his first action is going to be to order these guys to move up this way. Well, he's going to order those guys, and then he's going to move. So first is the order. They're going to get a total of 3 actions. This guy will reload and move 8 centimeters to, he was there, to right here. And he's done. These guys, this guy gets 3 actions. He's going to move 8 centimeters to here. And he's going to shoot at the leader. That's going to be a +4 versus +2. And a 7, oh, that's going to be a 5 versus a 5. Nothing happens except he's out of ammo. And this guy's going to do the same thing. And, oh, wait. That's going to be at a total of 4, 5 for the aimed shot versus, it's going to be, no, I think he has to recoil. I'm going to recoil him. I can't remember what my numbers are. We'll get it right this time. He rolls a 9 versus a 5, and because it's a red, that knocks him down. All right, and that also puts him out of ammunition. Then we've got a guy here who's going to try to take an action. And he gets 2 of them. No, he only gets 1, but that's enough. He'll move to contact. And if nothing else, it slows him up. And then we're going to go ahead and roll for our leader down here. Oh, and then this leader, he had 1 more. After the issue, after the order he issued, he could move. That leader gets 3. Oh, good. So he can stand up, he can order these guys to move forward, and then he can follow after them. Even if they fail, 12, and then they all get 1 movement, so they're all going to follow up. 1, we'll spread them out a little bit while staying in contact. And that's it for the British. The French are going to go. We've got 1 guy that has... Does he have line of sight? Yeah, I think he's got line of sight to the leader. We're gonna go for all 3. Giddy up. He's gonna take an aim shot, and he is at a distance now of 15. So that's gonna be a total of 1 for him, and it's gonna be a total of 4 for him. 6 versus a 7, no effect. Now we need to roll ourselves some 3 actions. We're going to try 3 actions with this guy first. And we're only going to get 1. Not enough to even reload, so it's the British turn. We're going to run this guy first. He gets all 3 actions. And he'll first use 1 action to order these guys to move. They're going to move 12 centimeters. To here, and that's going to end the turn. I know I'm being a little bit sloppy with this. I think the game is pretty much over. Now, he can interrupt. He has 2 more turns, so he'll go ahead and follow up to there. And now it's the French turn, so we're just leaving that guy on the ground. I guess we'll roll to see if he stands up. Nope. Then we'll roll for this guy. And he only gets 1 action. All right, fine. We're going to go ahead and move to contact this guy right here. We got to do it. And that's all he can do. Oh, boy, that's all he can do is move to contact. He's going to get run over. You know, why don't we go ahead and move to contact this leader? Now that leader is tied up. So if the leader goes first, the first thing he's going to do with his first action is combat this guy. And the leader now is fighting at a 3 versus a... Oh, he's actually got a better weapon, too. He's at a 4. Let's use 2. We're gonna do the power attack. It's going to be +4 versus +1. 9 versus 6. Knocks him down. And then he's got one more action, which he can order these guys to take all 3 of their movements. So that's going to be 12 to here. And then 24 will put them... This game is over. Because that's our leader. The only chance... Well, he's fallen down, so the leader doesn't have to disengage at all. He doesn't get a free hack. And it looks like it's a resounding victory for the British this time. I guess we could finish out the game. Let's see, there's a slim chance. Let's go ahead and roll for our leader here. He gets 3 actions, and he will use one of those to issue an order to these 2 guys. They're going to get 2 actions. They're going to reload. That's it. And then this third guy is going to try to take 2 actions. He'll get 1, which will let him move up to here. This guy is going to try to put the leader out of his misery with 2 actions. He's going to be fighting at a 3. And the leader, because he is on the ground, if you're fighting from the ground, I think it's a powerful attack. Fallen enemy. Oh, it's a +2 if you're fighting a fallen enemy. So he's fighting at a total of +4. And the leader there is fighting at a +2. He's going to be at +1 for the saber. No, he's at 3 actually, right? Power attack. He's actually at +. All right. If you power attack, this guy is at -1 because he's being power attacked. So he's at a total of 1, but he gets a +1 for his saber. So even though he's on the ground, he's still fighting at a 2. He is fighting at a 4, though. So it's going to be a 7 versus a 6. And he gets knocked down. And then everybody's gone. It's just back to the horse guys are done. Now it's on to the French. We've got this guy. It can take 3 actions, and if he fails twice, that's pretty much it. The leader over there is going to take 3 actions and order all his guys. Oh, I didn't even show you how far away they are. Here, let's take a look at how close they made it. So just 1 action is all it took to put them off the board, all 7. Resounding victory with a total of 4 casualties of veterans to 5 green Brits. And same battle, very different result. Not quite as far to run this time, but really that's just the way the cookie crumbles, right? These guys got some good positioning. They got some good victories early on. And just like that, the French were too tied up, too interested in protecting their own lives to block the road. And yeah, we got a different result. Hey, look, I found my turn marker. That makes me happy. Just in time for the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed this alternative look at a retreat from the other point of view. We'll see you next time for the next game of Song of Drums and Shakos. Until then, I'm praying for you.